Oh, didn't see you there. Hi, I'm Laurie. I play Ruth in Demetu la Bluzon.
And I'm Mandy, and I play Gal in Demetu la Bluzon. Nu, clare mi ne devas demandi ĉu vi vidis mian novan bluzon.
Kio?
Mian novan bluzon.
Oh, pardonu min, mi intensis peti permeson, sed vi estis for, do...
Do ĉu vi ne povis telefoni aŭ mesaĝi min? Vi simple prenis ĝin dirante nenion?
Vi antaŭe faris la samon.
Kiam?
Mi ne memoras ĝuste kiam.
Tio neniam okazis.
Ĉu vere?
Tio neniam okazis, Ruth.
Kompreneble.
Demetu mian bluzon, demetu ĝin nun.
Ĉu privatecon?
Mi revenos post 5 minutoj.
Mi alportos al vi vian karegan bluzon.
5 minutoj. Well, I guess I don't need to ask if you've seen my new blouse.
What?
My new blouse?
Oh, yeah, sorry. I meant to ask, but you were out, so...
So, you just took it? You couldn't call or text? Nothing to say?
Done the same to me.
When?
I don't remember exactly when.
It's never happened.
Oh, please.
It's literally never happened, Ruth.
Sure. Okay.
No, take my blouse off and take it off now.
A little privacy?
I'll be back in 5 minutes.
All right. I'll bring you your precious blouse.
5 minutes.
What was your favorite part of making a film in Esperanto?
This is actually my second film in Esperanto, and I think having another opportunity to work on this language and also knowing what things didn't quite go as well as I would have hoped last time and being able to come in more powerfully this time, like really knowing the lines or understanding stress, what's stressed in what areas. I think just getting another round of opportunity to invest in this community and this language was great for me.
I think my favorite part was just getting to do comedy in another language. It's such a rare thing to be asked to do. Mm-hmm. Getting to play with props and each other. It's rare enough in this environment to be asked to do that as women, and then getting to do it in another language, it feels like a whole extra challenge, so that was pretty fun.
Yeah.
What was the hardest part of this script to get down?
First line for me.
Yeah.
First line, not just because it was the longest, but there were a few syllables that were similar to me. So my first line is pardonu min mi intensis. See, even now I'm stumbling over. Min mi is the two syllables that I was really stumbling over. I was like pardonu min mi intensis, and when you like really take your time drilling phonetics, sometimes it starts to sound really stilted. So I was putting a lot of emphasis on like, excuse me, it started to sound a little strange. So I was like, pardonu min, and then throwing the rest away because I wanted it to sound natural by like saying it very quickly. So it started getting a little off for a while.
Yeah, I think for me it was the second line, which is do ĉu vi ne povis telefoni aŭ mesaĝi min. The telefoni was harder for me. I kept wanting to say telefoni instead of telefoni. And then just that whole line, I just had to like drill.
What experience do you have studying other languages?
Well, I speak fluent French. I was mostly self-taught, and then I did a little study abroad and kind of really hammered it home. So for the last, not quite a decade, I've spoken fluent French. And lately I've been more interested in creating content in French. Because while I was living abroad, I did some acting work in Paris. And now I kind of want to start a little production company that mixes English and French. And there's several actors in town who are francophones or are semi-fluent, and I'd like to showcase them and get them demo reel material. Other than that, I'm about to do a film in ASL with Jesse how do you say
Gallegos.
Gallegos. We're gonna do a little ASL short film. Other than that, I don't speak any other languages, so.
Yeah, my experience with other languages just in general, I grew up, my best friend was Jamaican, so I was around patois a lot growing up, which was really interesting. And then I was surrounded by Spanish for a while, living in California, which was cool. So I've studied a little bit of Spanish, but as far as studying and investing in languages, mostly just accents. In my acting conservatory, we had, in our voice and speech class, we had to do a whole bunch of IPA, which is the International Phonetic Alphabet, to break down different like oral postures and consonants and lexical sets of different sounds in different languages, so, or accents mostly. So I mostly studied accents more than like actual languages, but I think it's helpful to, like, French has how they approach the language is very different and has a different oral posture. Yeah. And I think it's just helpful with learning languages, but that's most of my experience.
What resources did you use for learning French?
I started in high school and I had this teacher that was just didn't care about her job, and I was disappointed. I took the very minimal basis she gave me and ran with it. So I just started gobbling up every French learning book I could and watching a lot of French films. And by the time I was in college, I was able to test into more advanced classes and then eventually studied abroad. So I would still consider myself mostly self-taught, but one good teacher can really hammer home a lot of excellent information. After that, once I was abroad, I think that there's this myth of being immersed in a language. You're gonna pick up some of the language if you're immersed in it, but it takes work. It takes a lot of work if you're going to be really good at it. So I just constantly put myself in uncomfortable situations. So within the first couple months of my being abroad, I had gone on awkward dates, I had made friends, I had put myself out there, I'd done job interviews, every really deeply uncomfortable thing. Phone calls that made me want to hang up and like take a nap because I was so awkward. Everything that eventually becomes, something you can laugh at and just learn from and not worry constantly about how you look and just absorb new information. Like if you make a goofy mistake, then you're never going to forget that. So it's all about just like attacking it from all angles, switching your phone's language, just like letting yourself be a little uncomfortable and free fall into the unknown.
What made you want to be a part of this film in the first place?
When I first read it, I actually have a friend that this type of scenario is so close to home that I was like, oh, I know exactly what this is and what this feels like and all of the things. So it kind of felt like a fun opportunity to bring a pretty real part of my life to camera and to film and to share it, because one of my roommates, we would literally get in this type of situation, so it felt fun to just have opportunity to share that. So the script was really fun for me.
I might be the friend who actually does steal the shirts.
Yeah. Cast appropriately,
Sorry.
apparently.
Shout out to my old roommate, Emily. Sorry about that. Never got spaghetti sauce on it, though. What attracted me to it was, I know very little about Esperanto, and I would love to learn more, but I'm kind of a nut for languages. I love languages, I love dialects, and from a selfish perspective, I kind of wanted to reassure myself that it was possible to act in another language, and I want to do all of them. Can we just do all of them? Is that a thing we can do?
Yeah,
Great.
Sure.
What was your favorite souvenir takeaway word or phrase from this experience learning some Esperanto?
Honestly, I know it's really simple, but I loved do. Like, after she says do, and then me kind of picking that up and being like, do, chuvine. That felt like a fun, okay, like, I see you, and I'm also going to raise you a do. I don't know. That was just fun for me in this.
I just really like the sound chu. I had it in chu privetetson and chu vere. I think I like chu vere the best. Chu vere. It just feels very sassy.
What advice would you give other actors who try to tackle doing a film in Esperanto?
Okay, this is going to sound really simplistic, but I'm not by any means a dialect expert or anything, but sometimes I help people with French dialect, and I have to say pay attention to how your voice has probably climbed an octave because you're not totally comfortable in that language, and drop it back down to where it should be sitting. So, you know, if you get a little tense, your voice goes way up and like, oh, I'm speaking another language now, and that the natural tendency is to do that. So if you kind of like take a breath and sit it back where it belongs in the natural register, then it'll already make you seem more comfortable with it. It's kind of like a fake it till you make it grounding kind of situation.
I think I would say pay attention to the vowel changes and how vowel sounds sound differently. I think in both the films that I have done in Esperanto, those were my biggest notes, was consistently, hey, this vowel sound actually sounds like this. But because it's in English, you want to say it how you would normally say an English word, but just paying attention to a long E versus a short E or another. Yeah, just really learning the vowel changes, I feel like, is the biggest thing. I would say start with that, jumping off that point, and then I feel like it could be easier from there if you really get those down.
When and where did you first hear about Esperanto?
I heard about it in the house back when Alex and I were roommates.
Why did you become a hick all of a sudden?
I don't know. It just felt right in the moment.
Were you Southern back then?
I was real Southern. I had just moved to Atlanta, and Alex had just moved to Atlanta. When Alex and I were roommates back in 2018, he sublet my room when I was off doing a theater show, and then I came back, and Alex stayed. Not in my room. We built another room for him. But yeah, I heard about Esperanto for the first time through him.
I first heard about it from somebody in France.
Really?
Yeah, I had a friend during study abroad who mentioned it because he was under the impression that it was a language his uncle had helped develop, and I don't think he was right.
Oh.
I think he maybe
it's older than that.
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
It's quite a bit older than his uncle.
But he introduced it to me as
maybe he meant and like developed it in current
popularizing
culture.
It. Yeah, I think he was mistaken. But yeah, I did first learn about it from a French friend, and I was under the impression that it was like dying and that it needs a little boost.
Not anymore. Now
YouTube
that Alex
videos.
is making these videos, making it popular.
Yeah, we saved it. I don't mean to brag, but we saved it.
What is a cause or an interest of yours that you'd like other people to get involved in or to find out about?
I love counseling, and I love being a part of community where you get to really be honest and your most like authentic version of yourself. And I think it's really important, especially in a time when America and like the world is collectively experiencing trauma. It feels like necessary to be a part of other communities with people where you can just be like, hey, this thing's really affecting me right now, and like holding space for different people to be on their journey. And so just like growth and development, and not feeling shame about where you are, and learning to really own and acknowledge what's happening inside of you and bringing that into every part of your life. I think I'm a big advocate for self-love and self-care and self-acceptance in a way that's like, yeah, you're not, in any of the things that you're feeling, you're not alone. And I think that finding safe people to be able to share your heart with is super important. That's something I feel passionate about, and I would encourage everyone to be real about what's happening inside of you and know that you're not alone and that you can feel loved exactly as you are in the space that you're in today.
I am a queer actor, and I'm passionate about getting more queer stories out there. We've definitely come a long way in the last few years, but there's still a lot of like awful stereotyping, and then every few years it seems like we have to kind of justify our existence all over again. So I would love to see our lives get normalized. I would love to see love stories that sometimes have a happy ending and aren't always about the pain and trauma of coming out. You know, I would love to see more of that. A little rom-com every once in a while never hurt anybody. Like, they don't all have to be sad, traumatic coming out stories, you know.
What is your favorite thing about the actor sitting right next to you?
Besides her profile? What? I'm just seeing a lot of it, and I was like, gosh, she has such a strong profile. No, that's not my real answer. I'm just shoehorning that one in.
I appreciate that, though. It makes me feel really good about myself.
We've kind of just met.
We did. Actually, today. I mean, we've talked on Messenger and stuff, but this is our first time in person.
I think she radiates a lot of confidence and strength and, like, certainty in herself. Like, there's nothing faked about her. She's just very genuine. And I love a good, powerful woman.
Thanks,
and I feel like she's one of those.
Thanks, girl.
Stop it. Stop it.
I think Laurie brings a lot of play to the work. I think it's really fun that she is confident in knowing like even in rehearsals, she had a lot of thoughts and understanding of who her character was in her. And I think feeling confident to bring that out and say, oh, this is actually what really reads true to me. And are you okay with this? And just holding space for the process and the journey of playing and really giving the director what they want, but then also being like, but this is who I see, and this is, this is my interpretation of this person. And then just not being afraid to be like, hey, can I lick the spoon? Can I like play with this thing? And just bringing like creative ideas and thoughts. It feels like you fully bring yourself to the journey and the process. And I think that's so valuable. Beautiful.
Thank you. I really wanted to lick that spoon.
She did. Thank you for watching and have a great day. Thank you for watching and have a wonderful day. Wonderful! He just said wonderful. Thank you for watching and have a wonderful day.